Hi, thanks for tuning to my channel. In this video, I will be talking about certificate of deposits or CDs. A certificate of deposit is a federally insured savings account that you could open with a bank, a credit union, or an investment broker. Now, why would you want to invest your money into a CD or savings account? Now, let's assume that you have some money that you're not going to touch or use for the next, say, couple of months or years. You could choose to actually put it into a CDs or a certificate of deposit, because the goal is that if you put this money in there, you're going to live with the bank for a certain amount of time, and as long as you don't touch it or withdraw it before the maturity date, which is the date you actually agreed to with the bank, then you would be given a certain amount of interest every month up until that time. Now, if you do withdraw your money before the maturity date, then you will be hit with a penalty or a fee. As long as you have decided that you're going to leave this money with the savings account for that time, you will be paid every month or given dividends. Now, certificate of deposits have really lost its value because back in the early 90s and late 80s, when interest rates were quite high, you could easily make a lot of money from your security deposit that you leave with a bank. Or you can imagine leaving your money in a bank and you're making about 8% or 6% of interest on your money. That's pretty good. I mean, that's what you would make on the stock market anyway. But nowadays, interest has really dropped so low that if you choose to leave your money with a bank for a year or 2 years or 5 years in a certificate of deposit, well, you probably only be making, maybe 1%, maybe 1.5, something in that range, which, to be honest, unless you have millions in your account, you're probably not going to be making a lot of money on that. And also, depreciation will probably eat up most of your profit. So why did I decide to put my money into a certificate of deposit? Well, I decided to do it just from my own experience. I decided to just see what it is like to have a CD and to see how it's going to perform, even though I had an idea of what it would perform, knowing the interest rate I'll be getting at the time. So in the next couple of minutes, I'm going to share my screen with you to show you exactly how I was paid, how much I made, and how much I actually invested as well. Please leave your comments below, subscribe to my channel, and hit the like button. I would like to see you in my next video as well. Now, let's jump to my screen. It's a 24-month certificate of deposit. On the initial deposit that I made was down here, as you can see, it's $2,000. And in January 2018, at a 1.4% annual percentage yield, and 1.4 went from 12.26 through that date, it was 46 cents. And then since it stayed for a full month in February, it was 2.38, and then it kind of just went on like that. Now, what you would notice is that the dividends, they're very close to each other, and they never really went higher than, $2, as you would notice. As you can see, I'm scrolling up now. You notice that everything stays around 2.34, I would say, at an average. And this one is actually, this certificate of deposit in particular is up in, so maturity date is in December, all right, 26, 2019. Now, if I go all the way to the top here, you can see this is available balance of 1052.43. The reason why it says that is because according to this certificate of deposit, I can actually withdraw up to $1,000 and the interest as well. If I would withdraw anything more than that amount, which obviously more than this amount, I would have to pay a penalty for doing that, because the agreement in this case for the certificate of deposit states that I can withdraw up to $1,000. Anything more than that, excluding the interest, I will be charged a certain amount. Now, as you can all see that, on a $2,000 invested over the course of, say, 2 years, it would only, I will add another $2 and let's just say $3. It will only net me a profit of about $55 say $56 rounded up, over the course of 2 years. Would that be considered a good investment? Now, knowing that the stock market has really performed well in the past 2 years, knowing that I could have, put my money in like an Apple stocks or Microsoft stocks and I would have made a lot more money back, it's not so great. But I do not regret putting my money into this because, like I said, my goal wasn't to try to beat the market or see, how well I can, how much profit I can make from it. My goal was to actually just get to experience what it is to have one, see how it is paid out, see what changes over the course of time, and see if I'm going to do it again. And I've learned that I'm not going to do it again because there's no reason, unless times change back in the 90s, early 90s, late 80s, when interest rates were quite high. Maybe you could have made more money. Maybe I could have made more money, on interest. But in this case, it's not so great. So yeah, I'm not going to do it again anytime soon. What is also interesting is that this is not the only money I put in this account. Well, I have 2 CDs. There's another one that I put in at $2,000, but I invested it 6 months later, just like doing like a CD ladder, right? But the purpose of this is to see how well that would perform, also considering the interest rates have changed. All right, which I'm going to show you that as well. So what I want you to pay attention to, you can see the dividend rate is about 1.4%, right? 1.4, every month. And so far, I've made about 26 this year. In 2019, I've made $26, but in total, I've made about 52.43 cents. All right, this is the second CD. As you can see on this one, this has 2.050% dividend rate, and dividend year to date is about $38, right? Now, if you look at this, is also under $2,000, and this was made in June 2018. All right, I made the initial deposit, and as you would notice, right from the get-go, you can see the difference. Remember, the other one was about $2 at an average. This is about $3.50 at an average. All right, so $3.50 something cents at an average of dividends every month, and this will continue until the maturity date of, this is June 26, 2020. So it is very interesting that, even though I did this particular investment 6 months after the first one, this has already made more money than the other one, right? Because remember, the other one, in total, it's probably going to make me about $56 of interest, right? Which is considered profit, right? This one would only make me, so far it has made $56. So, through the next 7 months, I'm sure it's going to make an average of 3.50 cents. So I'm going to guess that I'm going to make about, $70 to $80 on this one, compared to the other one that is only going to make me $50 something. Now, again, it's not a lot of money, and I knew that from the get-go, but my point is, let's assume this was a deposit of, say, $200,000, or maybe $2 million. Obviously, you've been looking at a lot more money to be made in the profit. But the key thing is, if I'd put this money in the stock market in the past and it stayed for the past 2 years, I would definitely have come out way ahead compared to how this is performed. Well, that's what I just wanted to share with you guys. I hope you learned 1 or 2 things from this video. If you've been wondering or considering investing in cities, well, this is what you can expect. Especially now that interest rates have even dropped lower, I don't think you should expect anything higher than, than something like this one that I have here. So that's it. That's all I wanted to share with you guys. I hope to see you next video. You should share, like, subscribe. Leave your comments below. Let me know your thoughts on this. when I recorded the video, I recorded it yesterday, which was 29th of November, and today is the 1st of December, and this will be the last. Well, I still have probably one more dividend I would post, but this is the latest one, and it shows about $2.36, making a total of $54.79 of profit, excluding taxes. That's the key thing here. Obviously, by the time I pay tax on this, it's going to be lower than that. But just to put that in there, so I decided to just add this towards the end of the video, just to give you the most updated information.